good to have you guys here again with another amazing personality, just as promised. And here with me today is Ahmed, and I'd like him to introduce himself, and so you guys to get to know him better.
My name is Ahmed Ali. I'm a Nigerian, just like my brother. Um, I'm a doctoral student in Rabat, Morocco. Passionate about debate, advocacy, and public speaking. And so far, I've participated in different, events to, you know, should I say, show off the my passion about these skills. And fortunately for me, I've been able to have some honorary mentions, like, being the best delegate once at the Mother United Nations Morocco. Also, been the best debater at the National Debate Forum in Morocco, and also a best delegate at ICYFOIC in Turkey, and other honorary mentions that I think we have a long list, but I think that should be enough for now.
Obviously, it's not enough. I know you achieved more than that, way more than that. You just being humble, and I'd like to let you guys know that Ahmed is a very great person and a person of intellect and a person of high caliber, and I'm really glad to have him here on the show with me. And today, this episode is gonna be unique and a very different one since it's not gonna be me asking him questions about him, asking him questions about his life, his career, his failures and success because he's a very successful person, and I'm glad to have been able to meet him and to partner with him on this. So, but today we're gonna be talking about education because me, personally, the way I view the educational system in the world generally, though there are some countries that are improving based on their education. The education system is different some in Finland or some other countries like that, but the improvements are minute. But there is a famous quote that goes thus that education is the key to success. So, and I believe everyone could have heard that probably while we are growing up, once or twice or three times or even a countless number of times hearing that education is the key to success. So my first question would be that what is the definition of success? How do we define success? If we say education is the definition is the key to success, so what is that success that we want to achieve or attain through education?
Basically, for me, when I want to define success, I would say there is no one definition for success. For me, success must be having money. For other person, just to, make it in life, just to have the little they want. To other people, just like I said, education. The people that say education is key to success. Maybe to them is having a lot of certificates, getting your, degree, through the formal education, and sometimes, informal education for some people. Having certain skills. For example, just for me, I might say I can't say I'm successful yet, but I believe having all those skills with the formal education I have, I can say I've done enough. So that's why I say it depends on the person. For you right now, it might be money, who knows? But generally, for success, I don't really find a perfect or one definition for it. So for me, it depends on the person.
All right, great. It depends on the people, so you have your own personal definition of for
Exactly.
success. But to me, I see that a lot of people tend to see success as worldly possessions, attaining fame or being on the spotlight for the world to know you. And when you're famous, like you're successful. And they aren't wrong in a way because that is one of the definitions given to success by the dictionary.
Yeah.
And we know when we don't find the meanings for word, we go to the dictionary and consult it and get derive our meanings from it. So, and I, in a way, I want to um, let this out that success, I don't like to see success in that way. And I would like to go to the first definition of success. You know, when certain words in the dictionary they have first definition, second,
Second
third,
one,
and
yeah.
fourth. And this one happens to be the second one. But I would love to go to the first one rather, which is the attainment of one's pursuit. That is success. When I feel like, okay, I want to become a player, I want to become a footballer, I want to become a basketballer. You, certain things, I just want to be creative. And I believe that we all came to this world to attain something. So if you're self-fulfilled, if you think you've achieved what you came to this world to achieve, everyone has a gift. To me, everyone is in this world to do something, to impact change. So when we see success in that way, is it that success, education is the key to success? Does that mean education is the only key to success? I know it's very beautiful for us to start with this quote because
Yeah.
I don't, I'm not gonna say that I detest it, but to me it's not true, and
Uh,
it has been proven so many times. What would you say about that?
I totally agree with you. Like, I have the same opinion. First of all, when I started school, we were still younger. We were first to go to school.
Yeah.
So I would say, yeah, I got my degree. I had this, I had this certificate. For me, that was like, yeah, I made it. Or probably being the first position in school, that was like success to me. Like, I made it. I remember one time I didn't do good at school, and because of some factors that personal reasons, I came ninth, but I was the first position among the guys.
Wow, that's too much.
The guy,
First tonight.
but amongst the guys, I was the first position. For me, when I got home, my parents are supportive of me of anything, so I got scolded. Like, they scolded me, and for me, I was like I'm not successful. I had that feeling. But as I grew up, and especially when I came to Morocco, the first years also success to me was, getting the
I mean, I
degree.
agree.
Yeah, exactly. But after I think these 3 years, personally, I detest formal education.
Yeah,
I detest it because I feel like it's like a program, and we are set to follow a certain way. So I feel like we are fixed. But when you go out of the classes, that was when I started knowing that education, I wouldn't say it's nothing, not to, discourage people that are going to school. But for me right now, I would say it's nothing. For me right now, I would say it's nothing.
all right, that's actually cool because why I said that and what I agree with you on that is that the certain amount of successful people that the world are celebrating right now. I mean, when we want to mention the most successful people on earth, we're gonna mention people like Mark Zuckerberg, and he's a dropout. We're gonna mention people like Paul Allen. We're gonna mention people like what is this
Elon
Microsoft
Musk,
guy,
we mentioned Elon Musk, Bill Gates.
Bill
Yeah,
Gates. We mention people like Bill Gates, and these are dropouts.
yeah.
Like, which actually tells us that it's not about the grades. It's not about you having certificates that has rainbow colors, that has different colors of grades, and that's not what success is. Success is impacting change. It's doing making a difference in life. So I'm not trying to say that education is useless or it's not useful or not meaningful because those people are dropouts. That means they went to school at a point in time in their life.
That is the what I'm trying to not say, not to discourage people not to drop out. There is a guy, Gary V, on Instagram. He's someone I really, for me, the people that motivational speak doesn't work for me. That's why I say till I met this guy, and I found out like he's a millionaire or probably a billionaire. Like, he's got his own business, but his idea is like school is bullshit, especially as an for people who are trying to be entrepreneurs. He said, if you want to be an entrepreneur, school won't teach you anything. And I remember an interview I watched lately where the man was saying, school won't teach you how to make money.
Yeah,
Like, and he was surprised, like, why wouldn't school teach me how to make money? But school will teach me how to get a job, and this job is to get money. Then why don't we skip the part where we go into study to get the job and go to,
getting money.
just get the money? So that for me, that's the main point. Like, I wouldn't say bullshit. You go to school, have your education, but it's not everything. So for me, that is not success. That's totally something I don't agree with. Like, just to start with that, I don't agree with the quote itself.
All right. To support your motion on that, I think I don't know if you read Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. It's a very famous book, and I think it's actually talking about this that people that parents they don't parent their kids, they don't teach their kids about money, about how to make money, and the same thing happens in school. Like, and it's trying to let us know in the book that the main thing that people go to school for is to get high grades and get a job.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are trying to get a job, you aren't having the orientation, the mindset to be a billionaire. I mean, you can't just work for people and have that money. You said you shouldn't work for money. You let your money work for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally understand that point, and um, I'm gonna just say that being a billionaire or being a millionaire has nothing to do. Like, I don't want to say it has nothing to do completely, but it might be some people's success. Like you said, that everyone has their own definition of success. But I want everyone to know that success doesn't necessarily have to be worldly possessions. It doesn't have to be that, oh, I have a billion in my account. I have more than this in my account. I have,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So it's more of letting people do what they're passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
The world right now, everyone we have depression amongst us. It's
Yeah.
more like it's it's a global disease right now. It, I don't know the perfect expression for that, but everyone, a lot of people must have faced. I don't want to say everyone must have faced depression one time or two in their life, but do you know why this is happening? One of the reasons why this is happening is because people are going to school because they don't want to. Some of them don't want to. They're just going because they have been forced to do so. And after that, they get to secure a job if they are able to. They get to secure a job that they aren't passionate about. They don't love doing, so they're just forced to do it. They ain't. I mean, can you imagine being a doctor and you aren't passionate about it? You just you treat patients
This
with
is
bitterness.
this is the point the guy who used to say, Gary V. He says, um, the first question he always asks people, like, do you love doing it?
Yeah.
Like, the main focus, the main like reason you should do something is because you love doing it. It's not because of the money, like it's not because of the position, but if you love doing it, then you're going to enjoy it. The main thing is just to enjoy what you're doing. I think for me, like for example, I would prefer to use my example is like um, mm, during my master's, the first English class I had, my teacher said, "You're at a point whereby the class won't benefit you anymore. You need to get out there."
Wow.
Then when she said, I was surprised. Like even you as a teacher, you telling me that. So that's when I went out. Went out of class. I focused a lot about you know the outside world. Then I met a lot of people. I met people that having, like you said, having an impact on people's life to them was success. And since then, I've always had this like goal to at least just have an impact in someone's life, whether actively or passively. But just do something you love doing, but at the same time, it has an impact on someone. So for me, I think it's just I think probably we are on the same page here. I
Yeah,
guess like
of course we have. And I was actually talking about people being passionate about things
mm,
and being an entrepreneur as well. You need to be passionate about that thing you're doing, that
exactly.
thing you're creating, that product you're selling out.
Mm,
You know, I've heard from different speakers, and even there are instances online and everywhere in our daily life that we can see, we can tap from. Talking about this Apple guy, the guy who created Apple,
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
Mm,
Steve Jobs is also a dropout.
mm,
The founder of CNN is also a dropout. A lot of people. I mean, I can't. I'll be out of number if I keep counting. But the point is, if Steve Jobs wasn't passionate about what he wanted to create, if he couldn't convince the people around him to stick to this plan, to see what he's seeing, they're not gonna be able to create these devices that we're using today.
mm,
And at a certain point, when you're into business, when you're into an entrepreneur, there will be downtimes for you that things won't go the way you envisioned it or the way you planned it. So it's left to you to to keep going. The passion is the only thing that will keep driving you. Because if you don't have passion for that thing you're doing, you're just gonna lose hope and you're just gonna fall back and you're just gonna retreat. You just be like, oh, let me just try something else. So, but if you're truly passionate about something, you're never gonna think of trying something else.
yeah.
I listened to Les Brown some days, and he was like, he wanted to speak. He was speaking with a friend, and the friend just asked him that, "Is today your off day? Like you're off work today?" I said, "No." I said, "Work should be something you do every day.
Mm-hmm,
So if you're taking a day off, if you have off out of the week,
mm-hmm.
not to work, that means it's not something you're passionate about. It's not a work.
Yeah.
So if it's your work life, it's something you love to do every blessed day.
Mm-hmm,
So really, passion is a great one. And talking about coming back to the quote that education is the key to success.
mm-hmm,
I think where it's wrong there is, firstly, education, the system, the way it's being programmed. Everyone is just forced to stay in a classroom, and it has been like that for decades. No improvement. I mean, people are just in the class, lead to the teacher, and it's just the same process.
Hmm.
And the world is evolving, the world is changing, and there are no advancements to the way students are being taught in
Hmm.
institutions. So I think that itself is a no-no when it comes to education. What would you like to say about the educational system?
Well, the educational system is one of the reasons why I hate formal education. And probably last 2 weeks, I was discussing, we were talking about some project with some people, and I could see like a lot of supporters, or should I say sponsors, support projects that encourage learning skills. I think even Donald Trump, before his tenure ended, he was actually encouraging people, employing people that have
Skills.
skills over degrees. Because right now we are living in a life whereby if you have enough skills, you're better than someone who's going through formal education. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, what the system is going to teach us is this: I'm going to read for this term, then I'm going to have my exams. After the exams, it's over. That's what I did most of.
That's what we're studying for.
Exactly. Like I study for the certificates. When I'm done with the exams, I'm done.
Yeah.
I forget everything. But later on, I totally understood that everything I learned outside, which was like the skills, debate skills, diplomacy, advocacy, they're still stick there because first of all, they're practical. Second thing is like you enjoying it. It is you being you.
It is your choice. You wanted to learn this out of your own choice. Like you chose it for
Yeah,
yourself.
exactly.
So
Like
you enjoy it more.
you're enjoying it. Like as long as you enjoy it, then you will never forget it. Then that's going to lead to the success. So that's what the system itself is ruined. Like it's just ruining people. All of this, for real, I'm going to repeat it again. All of this is not to discourage people not to go to school.
Of course, of course. We just
But
want them to change the system.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
in a way
Like
that's gonna be suitable.
the other time we had this forum at Atlas for Development. I'm a member there right now. So we had this 2023 Academy there, and we focused on two goals. The SDGs. We focused on the education and health. I was part of the education sector. When I looked into the system, I found out that you know there the education departments, they have, it's the second after the military. Like they spend a lot of money, but where is the success? Why is there still a problem? We find out that lot of schools, people. The example I give people on that day when we're having the forum, because I spoke there, and I said if you ask a student today, like um, what are you doing today? In the region, I would say it in English, no problem. It's like I'm going to school to study.
I thought you wanted to say it in Persia before, so.
Okay, كنمشي نقرا.
Uh-huh.
I'm going there to read. That's what it means. So I'm going there to read. When I look at the word, I always like I'm going there to read. So you're not going there to, do other things. When they're done in school by 9 to 10, you see people like they want to go out of the class.
Yeah.
So that should be a problem.
Yeah, because they ain't going there to advance. They just
Yeah.
wanted to, okay, I'm going to the school because I'm obliged to do so. I need to
Mhm.
go to the school at this time, and when the time is over, I need to leave.
Mhm.
When people are passionate about something, and when they are enjoying it, they don't want to leave it. I mean, if I'm playing football, for instance, I love football a lot. So
Exactly.
if I'm playing football, for instance, if the final, even when they blow the final whistle, I still want to continue because I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
So when people don't have that fun in school, what's the point?
The thing is, when we were talking, and I talked to one of the experts, and he said, one, we were talking about solutions we can suggest, and he said it's like introducing programs that will make students stay in school. For example, debate. It's because why I'm using debate is because something I'm passionate about. Debating, I even with my friends when we just discussing what we're talking, we turn it into a debate, and we love it. Because we love debates, and that really helped us. So it becomes your lifestyle. It becomes your daily life if it's something you love doing. So those skills for me are the ones that I think the educational system should focus on right now. The educational system, focusing on moving from classes to classes. For me, it's just like moving from one room to another room. It's just like me saying I'm older than you, like having the age. Yeah, I'm in primary right now. I just got my master's. I just got this. But okay, let's leave the certificates. You yourself,
What have you acquired?
what have you acquired?
Yeah.
Okay, you just without reading, without anything, just stand alone, and
Can you defend what you have?
exactly.
Your master's older now. What can you say without looking at the book, without having to revise?
Mm,
That's the point. I think Imam Shafi said something. It was talking. Ilmi ma haythuma yamamtu yatba'uni.
mm-hmm.
That my knowledge is with me wherever I go. It goes there with me.
Yeah.
So it's always qalbi wi'a'un lahu labat masunduqin. Like
Exactly.
it's always in my mind. It's always ready with me everywhere I go. But the state of students nowadays, it's nothing compared to that. Because if you see Imam Shafi's life, like he's so passionate about studying. It became a judge around 19 when he was still 19, very young.
They were passionate about it, but you will see the teachers motivate us to be like them. But the question is, have you ever asked me, do I want to be like him?
And what I see that is wrong with the system, it's not just about introducing those things to attach them to what they already have. No, I think everything should be revised from a scratch. Like me, for instance, I have a plan, educational sector. If I would be there, if I would be, I don't know, no one
No,
knows what's gonna
nothing,
happen
nothing
tomorrow.
is impossible.
I think people now, if you think this child, if we can know right from hand when they come, like there's some people who are fortunate to know what they are talented about from the very early age. So if you know that this child is passionate about debate, for instance, or he could have a future in a law firm. So right from the very first instance that he's going to school, he should start as a lawyer.
Mhm.
Teach him things, teach him basic, the rudiments of law while he's too young. At this early stage, people we grab more and we get to be interested in it more than when we grow old and things are complicated. Teenage life,
Yeah.
adulthood is really a mess. So, and the way the world is right now, we are just curious or crazy about the certificate, and all we do is to try our possible best to read, pass the exams, have a certificate. But where have we acquired? If they say, okay, this is a certificate, can you defend this? When you want to work, that's the reason why I say people will say, oh, we're unemployed,
Mhm.
and the blaming on the government. All the blames are not on the government. You yourself, what have you gained? Though it's not about you alone. It's because you should blame the government via the educational sector. Not the fact that they are not producing job for you.
Mhm.
How can they produce job for you when you aren't competent enough to be in that position?
Mhm.
Do you understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. Even the thing something I actually I say kudos to young Moroccans. I think they're doing a lot of jobs and they're doing amazing. Having social impact. The thing is, I learned from a friend of mine. Shout out to Hatim. He talks about doing something for yourself, like just moving out, just for example, he supports a lot of, like, you have an idea, just go for it. That idea, what you've learned there, will be added to your CV. It's about the CV. That right there will be added to your CV. Now look at you. It's not about the formal education again. Imagine someone, we both have the same masters. Even if you have like 70.5 out of 20, I have like 12. But in my CV, I've got skills like diplomacy, project management, all of the skills I learned
Leadership
outside school.
skills,
Yeah,
everything.
outside school. That alone is an addition. So if anyone, for me, I say if you're complaining today about the education or something, it's your fault now, because there is opportunity out there. You just have to go out. That's just it. You just have to go out. And there are a lot of, now we are in a virtual world. We are in a online thing. And Elon Musk once said, he said, you want to learn something? Everything is online right now.
Yeah.
So why stressing yourself about the formal education and the school thing? Well, sometimes we're forced to. Sometimes you have to focus on it. Sometimes you have to, go with the flow of, I have to go to school. I have to read. I don't want to fail. Blah blah blah. But out of 24 hours, we study for, I don't know how many hours out of it. The remaining hours you can do whatever you want. It's like just just move out, just step out of the, yeah, like they say, think out of the box. You move out of the box, then you will see the world better. So that's what I used to tell people today. Like after seeing, things, I'm not gonna say I'm the best of it out of it, but I'm just saying out of my humble experience, I think that is the advice I would give anybody out there.
All right, that's beautiful. I think you only give us a solution, a way to merge between the two. That's to
Hmm.
me, that's the way I see it. But for me, what I was actually saying before, because when you look at the way things are now, when there is a job opportunity,
Hmm.
they aren't gonna give it to someone who doesn't have a certificate. They're gonna look, even when you have a certificate, they'll say, where did you come out from? Where did you graduate from? What
Hmm.
institution? Like
Uh,
it's not only about the certificate alone. So these are things that we. That's why I say we need to revise the educational sector the way
mhm.
it is, since they are more crazy about knowing where you graduated from and what you have as a degree or something or the grades that you have,
Mhm.
and that is where the problem is exactly. And I think that apart from the educational sector, people who want to hire people to work for them, they should ask them. It's not. They shouldn't ask what certificate do you have.
Mhm.
What do you have to offer?
Mhm.
If that's the question that is being put to people when they seek for a job, a lot of people will leave school because
Mhm.
they know that what they want to offer a firm they can't get it in school.
Mhm.
They will maybe for instance I want to work as an engineer, a mechanical engineer, and I'm not saying that there ain't enough knowledge in school,
Mhm.
and there are some institutions that are really doing good in the practical aspect. Have you ever imagined or wondered why um, um, the in Africa, let me say in Africa generally, I want to generalize Africa now, that we are more people that graduated from outside Africa,
Mhm.
from diaspora. Why? Because they have equipment, they have things to experiment what they've learned.
Yeah.
But back in Nigeria or back in Africa or somewhere in Africa, that some part of Africa, they don't have they are not really developed when it comes to
Mhm.
their educational system. Students will memorize this, they would read it, lecturers will teach them, they'll translate it to them or explain it to them in a way, but they don't get to feel it, they don't get to practice it, put it into action. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they don't have the experience, they lack it.
In that field exactly, I had know someone, and I don't know whether it's cool to mention names on the,
I don't know, it
here.
depends on the person.
So there is a guy here who came to study. Stanley, kudos to him. He's doing an amazing job out there. So when I was talking to him, is someone that, with him, I even felt more passionate about what I do. So he's like an engineer,
Oh,
tech.
Stanley, right?
Stanley,
I think I
tech.
know him. Yeah, he does
Yeah,
tech job.
tech
Yeah, yeah,
job.
yeah.
He when I was discussing with him, and one time I asked him, "You don't go to school, like you came here to study," and it was like, "School is not gonna give him anything." He said sometimes when they're writing all this, formula on the board, he used to think like these things are things I practice myself.
Yeah.
He's more into the practicals. Now you're telling me to memorize one plus one equals to two. Now, for you, for someone who is not practicing it, he's going to know one plus one equals to two. But for me, for example, I'm gonna say, okay, this is one plus one, and I'm going to bring it into reality. So who is doing better? So for me, I think if there is no, well, if we're talking about that field, engineering and some practical field, then I believe, we should just stop the, what do they call it? The rather than focusing on the written, thing, and just write, just
We
memorize,
should experiment more.
experiment more.
Yeah, and that's the same thing I'm saying actually when it comes to the advancements
Mhm.
or the improvement that we look forward to seeing in our educational facts or educational field. I think we should work more on that. Firstly, and
Mhm.
second, I think firstly we talk about passion,
Mhm.
and I think Finland are really doing a great job on that because they say that their kids spend more time outside classroom.
Mhm.
They get them engaged, they get them to have fun. So when kids have fun in places like this, they would love to go tomorrow.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah,
wake up early and be like, "Oh, I have to go
yeah, yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah.
It's gonna be fun."
Imagine a kid telling a kid to memorize like the multiplication tables. Like I remember then we used to get flogged. One times one two. Okay, like one times one won't give me anything.
You're not gonna get flogged even if you don't know it.
Yeah.
Before you go from home, if you don't
Yeah,
wanna go, you
yeah.
get flogged from
You
home.
get flagged from home. Like, okay, as a kid, you're not supposed to be forcing me to do all of this.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be having fun. There are some ways you're going to teach me all of those things I'm gonna learn. But sometimes I used to think, okay, I learned 1 plus 1 equals to 2. Give me 1 dirham plus 1 dirham equals to 2. I'm gonna know it.
Yeah,
So
really.
there are certain ways, like yeah, just like you said, it's about the system.
Yeah.
Like for example, you gave example Finland. I think Norway also they're doing amazing with the educational system. You need to know what they want before you give them. The question I used to ask is, what we learn right now, is it what, for example, the job market needs? Is it what the world needs right now?
You see that question is a different one entirely, and I would
Mm-hmm.
say it's a different one for people who have different mindsets and mind frames because some people are willing, they're learning, or they just what they want in their life. Their success is working for a friend. I know someone who once told me that her dream is to work for Facebook. She
Mm-hmm.
wants to be in the engineering sector or something for Facebook. So I believe once she achieved that dream, that's success for her. So then that kind of people could be thinking of what is the requirements or what do they need to like what do they need to attain in their life to be able to qualify or be
Mm-hmm.
you understand what I'm
Yes, the
saying.
requirements.
So but some people on the other hand aren't ready to work for any firm. They
Mm-hmm.
might have the entrepreneurial
Mm-hmm.
mindset that
Yeah.
they want to create a firm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just different. So now we talked about the passion. They
Mm-hmm.
should put passion. And I think we should work on parenting as well. Why
Yeah.
people are being flocked to go to school? I mean, that's weird. I don't think that happens anymore.
I would say it. I don't know whether it happens because I've been out of home for a very long time, but I would say if you're in Africa and sub-Saharan Africa, I think you're still gonna get flogged. It's part of the culture. Like it's part of the culture.
It's mandatory.
Yeah, you have to be flogged. We believe like flogging is going to make you do it, but being flogged to, I think for parents, I think it's high time parents need to ask
Yeah,
these
things
kids,
should
what do
change.
you want?
What do you want? They should know them. They should know their kids.
Yeah, support them. It's easy to support your kids. Like, for example, you can find kids. I would say, well, when I was a kid, at home, I was silent. I wasn't like the one that talks too much. I remember my parents saying, "Oh, you don't talk too much," unlike my brother. But in school, they know I talk too much.
I think you're in school now because you talk too much.
I'm outside, so they're. It's not like my parents are harsh on me,
Yeah.
but it's just like
A level of respect as well.
exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, there's some kids out there that their voice, like if they are given the opportunity to talk, and that's one of my passion, and I'm looking forward to it. To help kids get out of that zone of being silent. Just
They should be themselves around you. They should be able
exactly.
to make those mistakes
It's
in your presence.
like I see kids here, and I see the way. It's not about being smart, but the way they talk, like they're really fluent. But imagine in sub-Saharan Africa, you find some kids they're still facing problems to talk. Why? Because the parents is this, blah. All of this is like forcing them to stay silent a lot.
They're missing them.
Yeah, and
Putting them on silence.
the thing is, I think for kids, for example, public speaking, debates, and advocacy, no one is too little, like too small to advocate. Look at Greta. She's so young. You know, being able to talk in at that level, it started somewhere. So if we're supporting, if okay, I don't have kids yet. If parents
But you're
are
gonna be having one soon.
soon,
Soon.
but if parents are supporting their kids to do things they love, then they're going to see change. Like trust me, they're going to see change. And they shouldn't. I think they shouldn't wait till they get older because they used to say, okay, you want to make the choice, then you should be ready to be responsible for it. No, you're still their
Support
parents.
them,
Support
yeah.
them. Like the kids, for example, as a kid, if I hear my parents telling me, then you'll be responsible for it. I'm not going to do it
Yeah,
anymore.
you scare me.
Yeah,
You
that's
scared
it.
me.
So I'm not going to. I'm going to do what you want. So
Yes.
that's the problem itself. Just like you said, parenting. That's another issue.
And I think people, some parents, they impose their own dreams on the kids. Things they
Wow.
couldn't achieve for themselves. I'm like,
That's
oh, I have my son, my little son Muhammad. I couldn't be a pilot, and you should be a pilot. That's your future. And they
I
will keep pushing him that way. So even if he doesn't understand anything, he doesn't understand. If he's not passionate about, it, they don't care. You have to be a pilot. I give birth to you to be a pilot. That's how you.
and that's so much in Africa, especially in
Yeah.
Nigeria. They take it as bragging points. They use it as bragging points.
Yeah.
Oh, my son is a doctor.
My son
Then just
Ahmed is a soldier.
so it's like, oh, he's a doctor. This, the other side, the another mother would say, oh, like my son is a lawyer. But have you ever asked him, do you want to be that lawyer?
Is he happy about being a
The
lawyer?
same happens in Asia also. I think that's led to depression amongst them. Like, they're forced to do things they
I
don't
think
know.
it happens everywhere. It's just
Hmm.
the rates are high in those
Yeah,
places.
yeah. It's higher in Asia, in Africa.
Yeah,
Because
that's fair.
these parents are like, oh, for example, you see parents saying, I sent you to school to do this. I remember a guy, he's a graphic designer right now, photography, and he said his parent wanted him to be a doctor. So what he said was like, well, whenever he like tries to um, how could I say it, like to show his his work, they are not happy about it because he didn't become the doctor they want him to be. But the thing is, uh, there is an event that happens between Gary and a guy, and he said, "Well, girlfriend's, my girlfriend's parents want me to be this, so they don't want me to marry the daughter." I said, "They want you to be that. Then do that, marry her, and then go for your dream." So if they want you to, it's gonna be like a scam. But if that is what's gonna work, then
Do
go
what they
for it.
want you to do and then switch back.
Yeah, that's it.
But
But
it's not easy, time is going and we're growing old. We don't know when death will approach us. And,
I think that's another thing. When we talk about the age, for
yeah.
me, I'm going to disagree with you there because for me, I
Alright.
don't see like there is a certain age for you to say, at this age, I have to I should have done this.
I understand, but I'll disagree with you as well
Oh,
with your own points because you said we should catch them while they are still young. We should allow them to do what they
hmm
want to do so they can achieve it at the earliest age possible. And
Yeah,
you made mention of this little kid that does debates, that participates, that
yeah.
has this. So if he's been shot out of his dream or her dream, sorry,
hmm
so how is she gonna be achieve that in a very short age and
Yeah,
and that is a success and is a way that people would look at art differently and be like,
hmm
oh, this is passion, this is creativity.
yeah. I think for her, she had support. The second one I mentioned is because if there is no support, for example, if they are like like I said, like he said, they want me to marry. I want to marry this person, so I had to do it to get what I want.
Yeah, but
Didn't
I'm
I?
taking out of my life. Oh, for instance,
Hmm.
if I'm gonna study medicine somewhere, I think the barest minimum to study medicine is
9 years.
5 years, 9 years.
I think.
Minimum,
Minimum. Yeah,
the
5 years.
minimum could be 5 or 6 years. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm throwing 6 years out of my life away that I
But
could have been successful in something else.
do you think there is?
Regardless of my age, I could be 16 when I started and I'll be 20 something, I don't know. But then it's still something. 6 years.
Yeah, I totally understand. That was what I said at the beginning. Like, one of the solutions is like, why are you doing that? You can have something beside that you're doing. But if there is no time to do that, I don't see like there is. Well, it gives you a bragging point. I used to say, okay, this is not for bragging, but okay, for example, I'm 23 and I'm having my doctorate. So for me, I can say, okay, that's. I know some friends that say, oh, you're too young and you did this, blah blah blah. But for me, it's like even if it was like 27 and I'm just gonna have my doctorate, I don't see a problem in it because I think at the end of the day, it's just about if I'm enjoying it, no matter how long it takes.
Yeah,
And
if I'm enjoying it.
so yeah, as long as I'm enjoying it, then I'm just gonna go for it. No, it's not about the age anymore. That's why I totally disagreed with you when you said we're wasting it. Well, for you, if you can't find that solution, which is like doing both together, then you can just manage. It's not something I would suggest, but if there is no solution, like if there is no solution, I think that's the best solution to do.
All right. I
So
think you're only studying us to merge between the
yeah,
two.
like that is
You always find equilibrium.
like that is the advice I'm going to give anyone. Like you can do both. You can do whatever you want. Like you can do both at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. We should create time for the things that we're
Hmm.
passionate about. But people will still have challenges and difficulties when it comes to their parents not understanding them, their society not understanding them. A lot of things. But I think, like I said earlier, that parents should do more work apart from we talked about the education system, and it's not just about them. We parents do have a role, a vital role to play at that. And that reminds me of this book, Gifted Hands, by Ben Carson. Ben Carson was I don't want to say it was a dullard while he was still young, but his mom really played a great role in his life,
Mm-hmm.
and by trying to make them love book, love reading, like and look at Ben Carson today is it's celebrated throughout the world. There's no way you're gonna talk about science or medicine and you're not gonna mention Ben Carson. It's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So things like that, kids might be like that. They might be nonchalant. They might not want to study, but you
Mm-hmm.
should find a way to put them into it to get them to love it. It's not by scolding them, by beating them, by flogging them to school.
I got beaten a lot. Like I got scolded a lot. Not in school, with my parents. Well, for them, uh, being an African, being black African,
It's a
it's
ritual.
it has to. It's like it's become a culture, and I think parents nowadays are changing, and that's a good thing. Like they're changing. Some you don't see kids being forced to do things. Well, at an early stage, till like let's say primary school, they're forced to. But when it becomes GSs or like become, well, they're going to be telling you you have to become a doctor or something. But I think they're not understanding.
Yeah, and again, I think they should also try to understand what success is. Like, success is not just about the things you see out, being a doctor or being a lawyer. There are a lot of things that people could create and be successful at it. Like, they should let people, like you said, children should be given the freedom to express themselves and what they are passionate or what they desire or their pursuits. They should be able to express it and let people know. And I think it's high time that we engage kids in adult discussion. Like, let them carry them along, let them participate, let them get them involved in it. They would
Yeah.
say some things that are meaningful. You never can tell.
The problem is we're in Africa. They say you don't talk when
Adults
adults are
are
talking.
talking.
Nah, like we're in the. I say we're in 2021. There are some things that need to change, which is like
Yeah.
for me. I used to say the way I'm going to raise my kids, well, hopefully, is
Hopefully.
like
And you're having them soon.
that soon is another thing. So it will be more like a brother relationship than a father son because having a father son relationship is kind of a problem for some kids. Like I don't want to talk because he's my father. I don't know what to expect from them. But imagine having a brother, someone you can talk to whenever. It's not like disrespect, but having the freedom of space,
Yeah.
the freedom
No,
of
and I'm
expression.
sorry to cut you here.
Mm.
I have a friend here who also came from Nigeria. Can you imagine that he had to study a different course? He was studying two courses at a time.
Mhm.
But the second one that he was studying is something he is so passionate about, and he couldn't tell his father about it.
Mhm.
Not until he had his BSc. Like his father didn't know anything until he had his BSc. Because why? Because he knew that if he told his father at the first instance, it would discourage him from
Mhm.
studying that. But now it's a plus for him. I mean, they should stop putting the kids away from them. They're doing a lot of harm by that, by
Mhm.
doing that.
And I think that's the role of fathers because mothers sometimes it's always like mothers will support because we know how affectionate and loving they are.
Yeah.
They want their kids to just do what they love, but fathers, I think the pressure is too much.
And we are the fathers of tomorrow.
I,
So it starts from you.
well, just like you said, probably if there is going to be a child soon, well,
But I
we'll
think
see.
it's just that they aren't aware of some things in their environment because I can remember that I read a book. I think that was when I was in secondary school, maybe Sons and Daughters. I can't really remember the title of the book, but it was more focused on this thing. There was a father that was trying to impose future on his children.
Mhm.
Like he had a daughter. I can't remember the title, but he had a daughter,
Mhm.
and he made her study medicine. He wanted to become a doctor or something, and she ended up becoming pregnant because he left her with someone with a doctor, with a professional,
He
and
did his job.
it proved that he was a professional.
He did his job. Like for me, it's like you said, it's like the fathers. And another point I was going to mention, but I can't really remember. maybe I've been to remember like
You
background.
will, you should. So I think this conversation is really, really beautiful, and the way I just don't like the fact that we talked about Africa more, and it's just this conversation is meant to be generalized, like globally.
It's like it's where we're from.
Yeah, we're sharing experiences.
Yeah,
I
like
understand. I understand.
so because no matter how, okay, I'm in Morocco, I'm from Nigeria, we're still in Africa,
Yeah,
and
it's
I
still
feel like it's
Africa.
just the same thing. It's just a different way. Kids might not get flogged the way we're flogged in sub-Saharan Africa or something, but it's.
Stop stressing that flogged like we have been flogged.
I'm sorry to say it, I was flogged. I feel like I was really flogged. Like I would say it was. I would say something like when I left Nigeria, one of the apart from going for my dreams, one of the things I was happy about is finally,
Ah, I'm free.
finally. Like I imagine at that young age, at like 12, 13, living home. I know like I was still gonna be flogged till like 15 if I was still home,
Mm.
and I was like, oh, finally, I left home.
I'm
No more.
12 now, and no one
No
dare
one
touch
like
me.
me. So imagine being a kid and saying all that. It's. I wouldn't say it's depressing. I might say I was strong enough to adapt and to get. But imagine other kids also
Yeah.
that would have it might have led to a lot of things. Lot of bad impact on them. So for me, I think all of that needs to change. But the fathers who listen to us right now, they'll say like in Yoruba we used to say like Omadiniya will still going like
Get
you're
it,
still
okay?
you're still a kid, you don't understand, so just shut up.
Anyway, it's been fun so far having you, and I think the point of this discussion is, and it's not just about talking and talking.
Mhm.
I myself, I personally, I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. I'm gonna work on this, and I will try my possible best. If I'm given any opportunity to do anything to change the way the educational system is built right now, I'm definitely gonna play a huge role, and I know you're on this with me. Though you
Um,
have more opinion that we should merge.
no, the thing is, everything is, we can have everything online right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's easier to, I would say right now it's easier to merge both together than to waste all those years.
So
So
I think you should heed to Ahmed's opinion or advice that
well,
you should. Well, really, that's it. Mother Gogo is there and Father YouTube is
hmm
around. So anything anyone wants to do. There was a lady trying. She was talking to me. Judith. Yeah, she was talking to me 3 days ago, and she was like, she bought a new system and she wanted to install some application, and she was calling on her friends. Oh, can you help me do this? Oh, I'm busy right now. Can you
bruh,
help me do this? Oh,
you
I'll
too.
do it next year. And she just got frustrated and just typed it on Google. Oh, this, and she said she fixed everything in 30 minutes.
The easier thing is like on YouTube, for example, if I know the words, like the keywords of what I'm looking for example, let's say I want to download like a downloader for movies. If I type download movies, downloader, for PC, it's going to bring a load of it. And I just have the internet as long as there is internet. And that's I think for example, Nigeria right now, we still have a problem of electricity, blah blah blah. I used to say if there is electricity and there is internet, trust me, Nigerians will make magic.
Yeah,
Not
really.
the school.
They're
I'm not
even
talking about
making
the
already.
school,
Yeah.
but like with the internet, with the social media, with whatever they have, just give them that internet. So we're in an internet world. Like everything is easier right now, and even for education also, like academics, research, it's easier.
And now that is where you agree with me because I'm sorry to say that because now what do we do in school basically memorize all of these things, and these are things you can easily access on
Mm-hmm.
Google or Facebook, all of these things. So
Mm-hmm.
they should focus more on things that people will be engaged in, not just memorizing a whole book and telling me, oh, what's the distance between this and this. This is something I can get on Google. So
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
leave me alone and let's do something real.
yeah,
Not tell
yeah.
me to look for X or Y or Z. No, I mean X is there. Pick it yourself. Y is there. Pick it.
Like it's kind of like I think I would say kids like future kids are so lucky. We're lucky. Like back then, I think they had it harder than us. So I think it's getting easier. But the problem is just like the people out there, the policymakers, the people at the top. I think they're the ones that need to understand that right now because kids, students, they already understand that.
I think they understood it already. And why I would say that is that they're playing a politics game,
Mm-hmm.
and it's because it's they said stay hungry, stay foolish. I think that was said by Steve Jobs. If I'm not very didn't mistake that. So keep them hungry, and they'll become foolish and they'll still cling on to you because they have rights, they have things to claim from you. If they let everybody be at their comfort, like it's not gonna, they don't have any power anymore over them. So I think that's what they're doing. They're doing this on purpose. Like, can you imagine any politician somewhere in Nigeria or anywhere in Africa? Most of them, they will either have their kids homeschooled or let them study abroad
Abroad.
because they know the quality of education they are giving to people, they are giving to a citizen is very poor. So they
Yeah.
wouldn't let their kids have a taste of that because they can't compromise things. They can't make the educational sector better at their own detriment. So they would rather let their kids go outside and still impoverish people here.
And a movie I think I watched lately. It's a Yoruba movie, of course, and it was the first time I found Yoruba movie educated because I see like it's well they are doing great or they can't be blamed. But the thing is, they were talking about education, and I remember a father having like seven daughters, and he said, I would spend 5 million for you to learn a skill than to spend 5 naira
For
off
you
for education.
to
Like he says, like if you're going to learn something, like those skills are more beneficial than
going to
education,
school
going to
and
school. At the end of the day, I can't remember where my books are right now. I don't even know, like because I don't. It's not like I don't even know, but I don't even want to know because it's like sickening. It's hard to say. Like it's not saying that the efforts I've done so far or others have done so far like are useless, but it's just the truth. It's the bitter truth. So things need to change in a different way.
yeah, really, and what we actually calling for, that's it, the change in the educational sector. And I know people, one of the things that I critic about the educational sector, right, is because everyone is being um, taught in the same way. Like there are no differences, and we are different. Like the way I
Exactly.
study, the way I assimilate, the way I understand is different from this person, so on. So when you gather everyone into a room and you teach them in the same way, and you expect them to be glued to the, I know a lot of people that when they read they fall asleep, like they don't enjoy reading, and they
I'm
might.
number one.
The problem might not be with them. It might be that the way they understand things better or the way they assimilate better is by them um, listening to things.
For example, I would say if I was reading a book and I was just reading, I wouldn't understand. I would understand it, but I wouldn't enjoy it than, for example, watching or like discussing the book itself.
Yeah, that's it. So some people they love to have a debate session with people. So
Exactly.
you can't just and now that Corona is around, the lockdown and everything, most classes are being done online. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a ton of for a lot of people.
Well, maybe I should tell teachers out there, we aren't listening to your classes. I'm sorry. We're turning off our cameras and we're sleeping. That's all.
I'm
Because
not saying that I still have lecturers out there. I'm reading.
so is the truth. Like they know it.
Yeah,
The
really.
truth is the teachers also know it. So the online classes, I think for for me, I would say like that actually. I think the corona thing made it clear. Like the system is. I wanted to use the F word, but like it's like I don't know why it's the F word that comes out.
Because that's what you say most.
Yeah, like okay, let me just say it's fucked up. So that's just it. Like I think the policymakers or people out there that they can have the impact on such change. I think they have to do something.
You should pull the strings and make things better.
Yeah,
We really hope for that. And I think this is even we didn't even plan to have a long discussion like this, and I think we can still go on, but then we
yeah,
shouldn't bore our audience.
yeah.
So
It's
so
just,
it's really a great privilege to have you on the show, and it's been a long time, and I think I'm the happy person here. I'm
nah.
fortunate to
I'm
be
the
beside the star.
I'm the
Star.
happy one to be from the start, because you just put me on the spotlight. Yeah, it's so good to be, but it was like I really enjoyed it. For me, I've always enjoyed discussion, even sometimes with my friends. Like most of my friends, when we like a phone call is supposed to be like 5 minutes, and it ends up becoming like an hour
Wow.
because
I think
we're
I should
just
call you more for now.
Well, it's no problem. Like, we end up talking about stars, and I would have brought up an example, but there is no time for that, so it's all good. So
There's no time for that. Are you sure you don't want to keep watching and listening to this? There's no time for that. So, alright, no problem. And trust me on this. Like, I have this amazing personality here. Guess who's gonna be next? Steph Curry.
who knows? Or probably LeBron James
Jeff Bezos.
or Elon Musk.
But trust me, we're gonna have someone young as well and talented and very successful like my
I still have a long way to go.
yeah
But
that
not
shows
bad.
that you're successful. That's
No,
yeah, you have a great pursuit.
well, yeah,
When you say you have a long way to go,
yeah,
that means you know where you're going and you
yeah.
know where you are right now.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna accept what you said. Okay, I give
No
up.
arguments.
I give up.
I won on this
I give
finally.
up.
Alright, so another amazing episode. Take good care of yourself, guys. I love you. Bye.
Ciao, blessing.
Alright, I almost forgot. Like I promised that I'm gonna be asking all my guests their own unique definition of love, like how they see love. I believe that everyone has their own unique way of defining what love is to them. So here I am with Ahmed, and it will be lovely to hear from you. I can't believe I forgot to ask. Seriously, you guys should forgive me. So here we are, and I'm asking its own definition of love. So, what? How do you define love?
Love, love, love. Well, I would just borrow one of Bob's word about love. The true love for him when he was describing love, and it was like the Sufism kind of love. They say true love is when they say love is death.
Wow, it's beautiful for you to have been able to learn love from your dad. Wow.
Well,
I so wish everyone can learn about love from their parents.
well, it was just like it wasn't like a direct
Yeah,
learning, but
it's still beautiful. I mean, you learn from it, you gain it from your dad. So
so love to him is like I said, it's the Sufism kind of love. It's like love is death. They say a dead man has the eyes, but they will never see, and they have the ears, but they will never listen. So no matter what you say about their lover, they will never listen.
and they'll never see.
Yeah, they will never
They'll not
say
see
it.
their mistakes when they make
Exactly.
mistakes. Oh my God.
So you have to be like a dead man to the person you love, and the same also goes to yourself. So you have to turn deaf. It's not like turn deaf, but be dead totally. So for me, that's true love, and it just starts within. It starts with yourself.
So, true love is being dead.
Yeah, just be dead.
So be
like,
dead, don't be
just
alive. Be
yeah,
dead.
be dead. Just love.
And be dead with yourself. Be in love with yourself. Really, I think self love is something that we are really lacking on. Like we are not taught to love ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
and we should, because if you don't handle your own situation, who's gonna handle it better than you? If
Yeah,
you don't handle
exactly.
your business, you have a business and you're giving it to someone else to handle it for you.
Nah,
No one
it
is gonna
doesn't.
handle it better than you do.
It doesn't
No one
work
is
that
gonna
way.
take care of yourself better than you do. So
Mm.
you should be responsible for your life and make things happy for you. So love yourself, as Ahmed has said. So
And I believe you agree with it. So it's not like what I said. It's what we both agree on.
oh, is that true?
So.
That's your definition of love.
But we both agreed on it, so we both said it.
it's really beautiful and I love it.
Okay.
So this is the goodbye, indeed. Yeah,
Yeah.
goodbye, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye. I love you.